your traditional clay court style, of, your patterns. You use your kick serve to set up the forehand to play high to the backhand. You always defend cross court, you defend high.
Yeah.
It feels like that's gone out the window a little bit with this kind of this latest crop of players that are coming through that are just physically so strong, getting in behind the ball, being able to play off the outside leg, outside the court, smacking winners down the line. It almost feels the game's gone away from that a little bit, and that's one of the things that we delve into. As someone who's in it, what's your thoughts? Because also Taro Daniel said that to me. He said he thinks since COVID, tennis has fully changed, in his opinion.
Since COVID is an interesting one. I can't really speak to that as having not been on the tour before COVID,
Yeah.
but I definitely think that, like, from having watching tennis, and Marcelo would completely disagree with me as a player from the '90s, but I think that obviously there's way less specialization now, and, like, I think the game as a whole is more one dimensional in terms of there's not two distinct styles now like there was before, but where you watch, you watch a Henman match and it looks completely different than Marcelo Filippini match, to use my coach as an
Yeah.
example. 30 in the world South American clay courter. So there's less variety as a whole, I would say, but I think that every player is more well rounded. I think that they're, like, you need to be able to do more better than before, like, because the surfaces are so much more similar now, is what it seems like. And then I think that on top of that, you have, like, people are getting consistently better, like, in, like, working out in the gym and stuff. Like, it's been getting better and better and better constantly, I think. So I don't know about the sharp shift right after COVID, like I said, because I don't really, like, I wasn't playing before, but I think that got, like guys are extremely professional now. I think that it's generally pretty deep in terms of level, like, more, like, really, like, you have more, like, anybody can beat anybody, I think. So yeah, it's an interesting landscape. But in terms of the like the clay court tennis, I feel like because of the people being more well rounded, like, you can't there's no clay courter who's gonna have, like, who doesn't really do, like, basically everything well. Like, there's no clay courter who's, like, a really classic clay courter, I think. And maybe I would be proven wrong by, like, by some examples, because I can't really think of any right now. But I feel like there's no clay courter who's this really just a clay courter who's gonna go, like, really deep in, like, any Grand Slam, like at French Open or something. Like, maybe that would have been before. Like, you have, well, like, or maybe Marcelo. Like, as an example, I'm just bringing up my coach because I know his results really well. But he made quarters of French, and, like, not that he, like, I mean, not that someone who's third in the world can't make quarters of French now, but I think, like, it's less likely. Like back then, like, like a decent clay quarter could have played, like, two or three serving volleyers in French Open, and, like, not that they're easy matches, but that, like, it's very winnable, and nowadays, like, that doesn't really happen. Kind of all guys are a little more well rounded. So
Mariano Puerta comes to mind for
yeah,
me. Mariano Puerta
yeah,
was, did he win French? He was final of French. I think he
yeah,
maybe
yeah.
fine, and like he probably
Final, I
was,
think.
yeah,
Yeah,
and
or I mean,
he's
Gaudio's another
Gaudio beat
Argentinian
Puerta
where,
maybe in the final.
yeah, he beat Coria in that famous
Coria choked that
choke,
final.
yeah, 2004,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's right. Yeah,
But anyway,
beautiful.
yeah, I mean,
I know what you mean.
good
Yeah.
example. Yeah, I mean, Coria is like, he's that's a pretty good. Not that Coria wasn't a good tennis player; he's an unbelievable tennis player. But, like, I would say he was more of a classic, like, kicked most of his serves in, extremely fast, like, kind of, I mean, you would say probably better backhand, but he's like looking for his heavy forehand, kind of as a style.
He got to the
So
point. He got to the point. I heard he played a couple of challenges after he came back, where he couldn't even kick a serve in. I think he got the yips on his serve. Fully
yeah,
got the
so
fully got the
there you
yips
go.
on
Yeah,
his serve.
yeah. So, like, I mean, I definitely think that that's less and less for sure.
Yeah.
I think kind of like what you're saying. So yeah,
So
I
what are
don't
the
know.
non? If you were to give one or two non-negotiables now in men's tennis, what are the non-negotiables that you must be able to do from a tennis perspective?
I mean, that's an extremely difficult question. I think maybe my favorite part about the sport of tennis in general, obviously I like just playing and hitting balls. Like I personally enjoy that, but I think the most interesting thing about tennis is how many different ways there are to be good at it. The ability like to the way you're rewarded for playing the way that you play and playing to your strengths and making your opponent play to their weaknesses and playing your opponent's weaknesses. That's what's so interesting about it, I think. So I don't know if there's one thing. Like you might say like, you need to be able to have a good serve. You can give I think you can give a counter example to basically all of the non-negotiables. And the other question is like, what level are we talking here? Are we talking to be top 100? I think if we're talking top 100, I don't think there's a single non-negotiable. I think there have been guys who are top 100 who, you know, who've had some every single shot they've had them completely unplayable. Like terrible. I don't know. Benoit Paire was 30 in the world. He couldn't hit a forehand. You have guys who can't hit a serve. They're top 20. Like guys who can't hit a backhand. I think that there's guys who are missing. There's no shot that every single guy I think has.